Fantasy Fuel is powered by Poll Sports. Get instant fantasy football advice through real-time polls by visiting pollsports.com.
Cards are dealt the other way now, and for the last time, no more shuffling.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Fuel Shuffling the Deck. I am Tom Tuttle, and today we're going to be talking about a random player from the Houston Texans. Yep, the Houston Texans, they've got some stars. There's no doubt about that. They also have some guys that are question marks. So we'll see who we randomly select today, and let's do it. All right, it's going to be Will Fuller. He is kind of that question mark type of guy. He's had good things and he's had some not so good things. And the not so good things, frankly, are the fact that he's gotten hurt so many times. But before I get into it, I just want to remind you guys that Poll Sports is awesome. You can go to pollsports.com and you can ask a question, any fantasy football question. Who should I start? Who should I sit? Or, is this a good trade? Should I offer this trade? Anything like that. You can go there, ask the question, get your questions answered, and you can also answer questions. Flip the script, and you become the expert. So remember to go to pollsports.com right now. It will be an app soon. It's going to be great once the season begins. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, please click subscribe, and you might as well click that notification bell as well while you're at it. Will Fuller. Now, last year, he had 32 receptions, 503 yards, 4 touchdowns, which was good enough for like 75th best wide receiver. And that was for 7 games. So let's be real. He only played 7 games. So sometimes that's not too bad. That's not too bad. He's basically a wide receiver too if he's playing for the entire year. But the problem is that he's not playing for the entire year. He only gave you 7 games. He needs to play more than that. But first I want to dig into his production a little more. If it was a 16-game season for him, let's make it an equivalent. Even though them 7 games, let's figure out what it would have been like if it was 16 games. His production would have looked a little bit like this: 73 receptions, 1,150 yards, and 9 touchdowns. His fantasy points would have been, depending on your league, 249 points, which would have been good enough for 17th best fantasy wide receiver last year. So that looks pretty good, right? I mean, that's pretty awesome to think, well, he was 17th best wide receiver last year. Well, that's not really the case because of the injuries, but that's kind of how it rolled out. So that's the type of wide receiver you're getting when he's on the field. He's a solid wide receiver too when he's playing, which is good to have. But if he's not going to be on the field, that becomes a real issue. So that leads us into his injuries. The injuries from last year, we can get into all of them, but I according to sportsinjurypredictor.com, I went here and I was like, wow, this is actually kind of cool. Now, I don't know where they get these stats. I don't know how they calculate the stats, but it seemed like it was pretty cool, so I'm going to go ahead and share some of that with you. They had a chance of some kind of injury for Will Fuller in 2019 of 58%. He's got a 58% chance to get hurt. That's not the greatest chance right there. Now, they also gave him a 5.3% chance of injury per game. I don't think that's very good either. You don't want a 5.3 chance of getting hurt in that game. And then this one is the kicker. This is the one that really sticks out, because if this is going to happen, it's not going to be good. His projected games missed for 2019, 6.8. That's basically 7 games. Again, I'm not sure how they calculated all this, so I don't know if it's super accurate or anything like that, but it at least can make you think, okay, that's the point of the projection, because he is just been hurt so much that the projection of 7 games doesn't shock you. I'm not shocked by it. Not at all. Let's run down the list of what his injuries have been, and then we can kind of discuss that a little bit. September 7th, 2016, he had a hamstring injury. October 11th, 2016, hamstring. October 30th, 2016, knee injury. It's not, first of all, I want to stop right there. Sometimes when you have a hamstring injury and you're favoring something, all of a sudden you get a knee injury. Just saying. Sometimes that's how things go. You got to watch it. August of 2017, he had a broken collarbone. I'm going to let that pass, okay? That's fine. Broken collarbone, that happens. November 12th, 2017, cracked ribs. So 2017 is pretty much just a bad year for him. It's just he got unlucky. And he also had December 31st in 2017 a knee injury. He had a minor surgery on that knee, so it didn't seem like it was too serious. And then we went to last year, August 15th, 2018. He had a hamstring injury. Notice that is the third time I've said hamstring injury with Will Fuller. Listen to that. Okay? And then, October 25th, 2018, he had the knee injury. He tore his ACL, and he had major surgery for that. I'm telling you something. Hamstring injuries are the worst. They are the worst. I've said it so many times. But this is even another example. If you have had hamstring injury and then a knee injury, and then you have another hamstring injury and then another knee injury, that's saying something. Watch out. Watch out with that. That's going to be a real annoyance going forward. Now, I like Will Fuller. When he's on the field, he's wide receiver 2. But he's going in the 6th or 7th round right now, which is about the 35th wide receiver taken off the board. And you have to think, when you're sitting there and you want a wide receiver, do you take Will Fuller? Or do you take Robbie Anderson? Or do you take Sterling Shepard? Or do you take Alshon Jeffrey? Do you take Alshon Jeffrey, Anderson, or do you take Shepard? Or do you take the chance with Will Fuller? It's a tough one. Will Fuller, you know he's probably going to get hurt. If he doesn't get hurt, I think Will Fuller is the best decision there. But you have to think that. You have to think he might get hurt. So I might go somewhere else on that one, and I might go with a different guy like Robbie Anderson or Jeffrey or Shepard or anyone else that might be around in that area. You have to think that way because Will Fuller just gives you that risk. So, with all that being said, guys, I want you to remember PulseSports.com. I'm not going to say it again. It's at the top of the broadcast. PulseSports.com, a great place to go for all your questions. If you're listening on YouTube, please do click that subscribe button and the notification bell as well. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please give us a little review. That does help us out a little bit. And remember, you can find us at FantasyFuelPodcast.com. You can also find us on Facebook. Don't forget to listen to all of our episodes at Fantasy Fuel with me and John Eddie Jr. That's our main one. And we got all of our rankings on the website. So if you have any questions and you really don't feel like contacting us because we're weird or whatever it is you're thinking, go ahead and check out our rankings. It does help a lot of people out. Hopefully it helps you out as well. So with all that being said, please, guys, remember to stay fueled up this fantasy season.